And because I'm not an expert, on today's show we are joined by the very, 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 very able Kendi. Kendi, I'm trying to pronounce your name correctly. I hope I get it right. Don't say it. You tell me. Ashitiva.
Well done.
Look at me.
But you come from Luo Nyanza. That's our neighbor.
Ashitiva.
No, but you say in Luya, Ashitiva.
Ashitiva.
Thank you. You have to say Ashitiva.
Fantastic. I'm glad I got it. So Kendi is a mental health practitioner.
Yes.
And she's joining us here, Kendi. I'm so excited because I'm ready to learn. That's why I have a pen and a paper. And just let's dive into it, Kendi. I've read that most abusers move very quickly, that they proclaim deep feelings and desires for exclusivity or labels. They do things like constantly texting. They surprise you with a visit when you least expect it. The relationship feels quite intense, all right? So is this a sign that someone should look out for as a potential danger that would lead to abusive relationships?
Absolutely. Let me tell you guys, abusers are very attractive people. Mm-hmm. They don't walk around looking like abusers. Why do you think we marry them? Tunajulianga huko mbele. That emoji that does this. Yes. We end up doing it within the marriage, right? Yes. So initially, they are normal, wonderful, intense people. At first, they're not abusers. They're intense. Mm-hmm. This guy loves me. This mama is on my case. So at first, it doesn't look like abuse. It looks like intense affection, intense love. He comes to your house unannounced. You're like, oh my God, they're romance now. He picks and drops you, waits for you at the salon. Which man waits? So your girlfriends are like, hey, you've angukia that guy and a half.
Kumbe, you don't know.
Kumbe, you've angukia that psychopath. And you have no idea. So it's natural for them at the beginning to cloud your judgment with affection, to hide behind all these activities so you never get to notice.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Emmanuel, do you wait for your wife in the salon?
He won't even say it now.
No, be honest. Because I was reading about this stuff and thinking about Ashitiva. Nikasema, huyu jamaa ashaniambia alingoja bibi braids zikitengezwa 11 hours.
No, like Kenyatta Market.
I tried to once and then I quit that biashara.
Right.
But then Barbara was saying Aoko to introduce to the guest.
I felt like Ashitiva knows us. Let me go back. My beg your pardon. So Ashitiva, I feel like I know you because I've watched you for many, many, many Sundays. When you're doing that lovely show you used to do. My name is Eric Omondi. To my right here, I'm the only man in this room who is not yet married. I will be someday. To my right is a gentleman, a friend of ours, and a good man. His name is Emmanuel Kisiangani. Yeah. He represents the married brothers. So he's been married now. He stayed with his wife for long, I think 9 years. Alafu sasa wakawana officially.
But their anniversary was last Saturday.
You didn't tell us.
Fantastic. Yeah. So that is the third anniversary?
Yeah, third anniversary.
Absolutely. And then to your left.
But been together for 13?
For 10.
In
In total 10.
Come at 2 election years.
Married for 10.
Yes.
2 terms.
2 terms.
2 presidential terms.
Barbara, that is Emmanuel's story. To your left, Kendi, is Barbara Imbakhalambaka.
My relative.
Exactly.
And Barbara is living a life like it's golden. She tried a very nice T-shirt called Marriage. But she told us that it became so tight, so she removed it.
Yeah.
So now she's just exhaling and inhaling.
And being the Duchess of Ecolomani.
Absolutely. So together, and then the adults in the room is made up of 4 of us. Yes. So that is myself, Emmanuel, the Duchess. And the fourth tire, he sits here. His or her name, hii kiti ni unisex. Anaitwa msikilizaji. All right?
Okay.
So sisi wanne na wewe leo watano tuna make the
adults in the room.
Fantastic.
Si unaona hiyo introduction imeingia tu na ikaisha.
Baya.
Karibu sana, jisikie huko nyumbani.
Asante.
Yes, Emmanuel.
Yeah, so one of the identifying things that you should see, because like my friend Eric here was really still suffering from singleitis. He's very keen on seeing like observing who someone is. And I think that's why maybe he's still single. He's very choosy. So what are the things that someone should look out for when you meet someone so that you tell, even before now you get deep into a relationship, that this person may be an abuser emotionally?
Fantastic question. I'll give you 3 letters, I, C, and J. I stands for isolate. C stands for control. J stands for jealousy. If you support a man that just wants you for himself, or a woman that just wants you for herself, because by the way, it works both ways. Yes. I don't want you to hang out with anybody. You know, these chicks in your chamami, I just don't feel them. These boys of yours, man, I'm just not feeling them.
Then he's not married, so he's not a good fit for us.
You're constantly isolating your prey. Prey. You know, even animals in the wild, what do? They check the one that is on the side, duko peke yake, because it's easier to attack you when you're isolated, right?
Yes.
So a person who's very keen on isolating you, but they don't just isolate. Before they isolate you, they inwire you, mpaka you feel like you're the best thing after sliced bread. Yani ni wewe tu. First they begin by elevating, you are so amazing. Nobody gets you like me. Let me tell you, all these other women I ever, yani you're
You
just
complete
the one.
me.
You complete me. Yeah? My mother can't wait to meet you. So what does that make you feel? Hey, have you met me?
Yes.
Yeah? So just after they're done inwiring you, you start thinking, okay, so up here, I'm just me alone. You're the only one in my life that gets me. So they isolate you. Slowly after they isolate, they start controlling you.
Yes.
Where are you going? You're wearing that. You're sure you want to wear that? Who's
Who's
calling you?
Who's going to be there?
But these things happen so gradually.
Yeah.
It looks
So it's
normal
after
for
the
the longest
phase
time.
that you have been raised up in ranks.
Let me tell you, no woman is abused day one.
Yes.
Day one, you're made to feel like a princess. Day one, yani uko huko juu. But as they slowly make room to drop you like a hot potato. Yeah? And when you're dropped, that's when they start kicking and punching you in the face.
Yes.
So it starts by you being lifted up ridiculously, exalted. You are and then they start by telling you very deep things at the beginning of your relationship. You're like,
Too fast.
too fast. Before you know it, you have a new title you didn't understand. You're saved as wifey on his phone. You're
And
like,
you're not
"Guy,
engaged."
yani, this is a life. I'm done praying. I'm arrived.
But what is wrong with women?
What do
you mean?
No, but that's crazy. Like, sasa mtu amenieka wife after 3 weeks. Yeah, I should know.
No, but
And
also
they even introduce you as wife to their friends.
That's crazy.
So it's
But
exciting.
then someone has done that. I was like, this is
No,
creepy.
you know,
Right?
Kendi, when
Yes.
you're speaking, I'm thinking, and we were just before you walked in, I was talking about just, dating married men and yet another conversation. But I'm thinking, you know, the old saying, when it's too good, think twice. Like these expectation for somebody sweeping you off your feet, I feel like it's dangerous. I feel like we need to leave room for reality in regards to there is a principle of process. Let us crawl for a minute, then we walk a bit, then we run kidogo, then we can fly. Why do you think a lot of women are so fixated about flowers, chocolate, introduced kwa mama yake, and it's just week 9?
Because women have two needs,
Yes.
to love and be loved.
Only.
It's such a dominant need in a woman, you have
Yes.
no idea. True or false, Barbara?
True.
We want to love and be loved.
We love that attention around us.
Let me tell you, that's how we were made. I know it's foolish, but that's just how we are. You know.
We're not pragmatic about this thing.
Yes, and emotions can be very unreliable, right? We've
Yes.
all had emotions. Today
Yes.
you feel something, you're like, this is it. And next
Today
day you're
you're
like,
like,
what was that?
Yes.
So emotions are not easily rationalizable, especially for us women.
Yes.
Because we are primarily emotive beings. And imagine I'm emotional, then I desire to love and be loved. Then here you are meeting that need. What do you expect?
I hear you.
It takes a lot for me to put my feet on the ground.
We don't
And
have
that's-
logic. Would you say that?
We do. We have logic. But anyway,
Because-
what are you enjoying?
No. Okay, I don't. I didn't mean logic
On
of
that note-
smartness, but we'll be back. I'll explain what I
on
want.
that note, we are the Adults Room. Today we have a special guest. Barbara, what are we talking about?
We are talking about how to tell if you're in an emotional, abusive relationship and ways to find help.
This is one of those shows which, where you have to tell a friend so that we can all share these gems together. And, this conversation is going to go on all the way till 10 o'clock. And, just tell people. Barbara. Tell people about this show because I feel like we're going to learn so much. Some Luther Vandross coming up right now, Power of Love. This is one of my favorites.
Yes, if you're joining us, Karibu Sana, you've totally joined the right team. If you're joining us again, we are talking about how to tell if you're in an emotionally abusive relationship and ways to find help. And we are joined by none other than Kendi Ashitiva, who is a mental health practitioner. Remember, you're part and parcel of this conversation. Share your views about where you're listening from and also your thoughts about the conversation. Are you an abuser? Have you been abused? We'd like to hear all of that. And I see Twitter is doing what it does best. Bob says, my best people, I'm listening and learning. Elton Sam says, I'm Sam Elton. I'm locked in from Kisumu, Mamboleo, County 042. This show is wow. His words, not mine. I love your show. And someone tell Barbara to pronounce Riat as Riat. I already told her, Elton. Listen, all of your feedback are welcome. And thank you so very much. We're in for a good ride. Barbara, what are you hearing?
Man like Kut says he's locked from Limuru. He's enjoying the show. Keeps spicing up the evening. Valerie Awino says, my people have been in a relationship that started hivyo the way Kendi was saying. And I had to say no. He never wanted to introduce me to his friends. In the same time, he was all around me. Now, when we went on a break, I was asking about the question of logic. I was not saying that women are not logical, but I was asking, should we trust our gut or our feelings of women, or be logical when it comes to love? Because sometimes I feel this predator or the abuser take advantage because of that. We put our feelings more than the logic part of it.
Absolutely. But your feelings can sometimes give you a warning. You know, I've ever had a feeling that something is wrong and you don't have the facts for it. Yeah. So I don't want us to dismiss feelings all the same and say feelings don't matter. Mm-hmm. Feelings do matter. Sometimes you go like, there's something off about this guy. There's something off about this chick. So let's encourage people. If an alarm goes on inside of you, it doesn't matter what you're seeing. Stop, pause, ask the right questions. Yes. And the other thing I would say this, remember ICJ, isolate, control, and jealousy. All those, the foundation of them is fear. The abuser is normally a very fearful person. Okay? Most abusers have been abused themselves. I kid you not. From my experience as a practitioner, most abusers have gone through abuse. Every time I see fear, I know there's trauma.
All right.
Every time I see fear in a person, I know there's trauma.
Now the trauma fear from us? Or
fear from I don't want to lose you.
Okay.
I need you. But they don't realize, like I think there's something that someone said during the break. Many times the abuser is not even aware of their level of abuse. They don't recognize it as abuse. They themselves have gone through abuse elsewhere and it became their normal. So they've come into this and they're like, what's the issue? They can tell something's wrong, but we call it insight in psychology. They don't have, there's sight, then insight. Ile and Daniel this is wrong. They don't have enough awareness about this is wrong. And even when you try to teach them how to walk away from being abusers, it's a very scary road for them. They're like, no, I let her go. I don't check her phone. Guy, what if she hurts me? What if she cheats on me? And I'm like, you have to let her decide to be with you. You cannot make her be your woman. She has to choose to be with you. No, you don't understand. You don't understand. I need to know where she is all the time. Let's deal with why you need to know where she is. Let's remove her from the equation and deal with your need for control and power. Where does that come from? Many times it's because as a child somewhere or in your past, you lost control. Don't joke with our childhood experiences. So those things are real. There's a backstory to every abuser. Every behavior, I tell you guys, can be explained. Every behavior, from the rapist to the murderer, all of that, you can trace it back to something. I remember R. Kelly's wife during her interview, during Surviving R. Kelly, the documentary. Yes. And someone asked her, what do you tell the fans who are crazy about R. Kelly? She said, it's okay. You know R. Kelly, me, I know Robert. Two different people. And that's normally mainly the trap of the victim, because everyone else knows the charismatic, charming guy. And many abusers are very charismatic, or they have a very functional side. Yeah. Anytime I see someone who's overly controlling and functional, very good at something, they're really obsessed about it, I know there's a part of you that's falling apart. Oh, wow. So anytime I see excess control, I know there's a back end that's falling apart. So the thing is, everyone else sees this guy who's so functional. And the victim is like, now, who will believe me that this man is mad? Who will believe that this woman is mad? No one will believe me. And then you're like, it must be me. Something is wrong. It must be me. He can't be I can't call him an abuser and he pays the rent. He pays the school fees. He does all these things. So you begin to question yourself. Yet, this relationship has a few things. One of them is fear. Remember I told you, the basis of abuse is fear. Yeah. Control, manipulation. So let me tell every listener, if you're fearful in your relationship, something is wrong. Male or female. If you feel afraid next to your partner, something is wrong. You shouldn't be afraid. You shouldn't be afraid. Love should dispel all fear. You shouldn't be afraid. Yeah. If you start feeling fear, something is wrong.
Is it the fear that she or he might leave me? or come off of the relationship, or fear that he'll do something bad to me?
Fear I'm not safe.
All right.
Something is wrong. I'm not safe. And many times when they feel that, they tend to push it back down. It comes back, they're like, no. They push it back down. And remember, it's working so against you because you're still being isolated.
All right.
You understand? You're still being isolated. So anytime you start thinking something is wrong with my relationship, you're like, who will I talk to? You look around and there's nobody. And you ask yourself, why is there nobody? Because he can't stand my friends. He told me he doesn't like this chama. These classes I go to, zinaisha late sana. I shouldn't go to school at this time. Yeah, this is not the kind of woman that he married. So you don't realize that you're slowly shedding away your life to accommodate this person.
You know, I was telling you earlier that when we were listening to that Luther Vandross, that sometimes as an abuser, sometimes you don't even know you're doing something which is abuse. You know, and do you think sometimes that there are different cases? The way you can have chronic disease and mild. Do you think there are grades to this thing? And you're gonna answer. You're going to answer that when we come back.
Okay.
Because I feel like sometimes maybe there is this mild abuse, which maybe you don't know. Like you've mentioned checking her phone.
Yes.
Like someone like me, I've checked her phone, and you're like, see, I was just checking her phone.
Bad manners.
And if you check out, this is actually a need for control and power. So when we come back, you're going to educate me specifically. This one is for me. I'm sure msikilizaji will enjoy the benefits. But I want to know if you can be a mild abuser and you didn't know. 94.4 Spice FM. We are the adults in the room and we have a special guest in the building. Barbara, what are you talking about?
We are talking about how to tell you are in an emotional abusive relationship and ways to find help.
And we're talking about how to tell if you're in an emotionally abusive relationship and ways to find help. And I was just asking you a question, Kendi. And Kendi gave me the permission to call her Kendi, by the way. But otherwise, ni Mrs. Ashitiva. So I was asking, sometimes you're a husband somewhere and you don't know that some of your tendencies are almost borderline abuse, if not abuse. So do you feel like you can actually learn, you can actually grow out of abuse through maybe listening to a show like this and learning that some of the actions you're doing are abusive? And would you encourage someone who's with someone, maybe they're not chronic, but would you encourage them to just hang in there because this person may learn and stop becoming abusive?
Very good question. I'll say two things. One, kuna difference ya weakness na wickedness. Isn't it?
Yes.
Weakness ni kufanya makosa. Ukiniambia, do you guys speak Swahili?
Yes.
Weakness is if I make a mistake and you tell me you're hurting me. Barbara tells me, Kendi, I didn't like what you say to me. And I say, I'm so sorry, Barbara. Whether I understand or not, I hurt her feelings. So I say, okay, I won't do it again. Wickedness is, wait, I get over it. Wickedness is when I come and slap her or make a nasty comment about her, a sexual comment, even in the office, all those things. And she comes and tells me, hi, I know that this is casual here, but I don't appreciate when you do that. It becomes wickedness when I continue doing what someone has told me is hurting their feelings. Does that make sense? Yeah. Can I now, has it separated someone who's a chronic abuser and one who didn't know what they were doing? So the first way of stopping to be an abuser is listen to your partner. When they tell you, I don't like when you do this, listen. When you do something and you see their body language is telling you, I'm not happy about this, listen. Your partner is the person to tell you, I think you're crossing a line. I think you're crossing a line. So first listen to your partner. And when they tell you something, even if you don't understand, as long as it's hurting your feelings, think about it and respond appropriately. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're checking her phone, for instance, because of maybe trust fulani ilipotea.
Yeah.
Is that still considered a thirst for control, or is just lack of trust?
Let's talk about the trust. Because the phone is just a symptom. The phone ni matunda. Tuongea juu ya root. Root ni nini? Root ni, was there an affair in this marriage that was never handled? You understand? Mistrust doesn't come from nowhere. I'm not just checking your phone because there's something happened in this relationship that we never talked about. Or I have my own baggage from my own past that I never finished dealing with. All right? That have brought into this relationship. So can we first discuss, why are you obsessed with my phone? What does it make you feel? How do you feel when you don't have my phone? Let's answer those questions. And that's what I ask my clients. How do you feel when you don't have her phone? I think about it all the time. I'm worried about let's deal with that. The phone is just, even if we hide you look for something, you'll find another place for your obsession.
Yes.
So let's discuss this anxiety you have about her. That is the issue. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
And how?
Sorry.
Let me give an example of maybe a lady. There was a perfect start. Of course, the irrational in emotions, unresolved. Then from the good start, now things come crumpling down. And now I have noticed, hey, these are the signs. This is happening to me. I am in an emotionally abused relationship. How do I get out?
Very good question. Number one.
Or how do I solve it? Even if he's not getting out, how do I solve this?
Number one, relinquish your right to help him or fix him. Does that make sense?
Yes.
What keeps us in those relationships is thinking I can fix him.
He'll change.
Think he'll change. Hey, that color, that hope. And you know why we think he'll change? Because you've seen the honeymoon side.
Oh, so you think he can go back to who he was before?
Yes. And that's why we stay. I keep saying, even a woman in an abusive relationship, there's a need being met. We're the ones who think and I'm chapa too. We are to Onangi. Sometimes that is the best sex you ever had. Oh, you guys.
Yes. Continue.
Sometimes these people have a very good side.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what is keeping her there. Oh, no, to black eye. My friend, before that black eye, this is the best romance she ever got. Wake up on a black eye. Ako. So, number one, accept that, okay, this guy has these strengths, but he also has these massive weaknesses.
Yes.
Accept to, let's just be real, accept this. I acknowledge he's amazing in this area, but he's still an abuser. Relinquish your role to fix him. Mama, you didn't break him, you won't fix him. Yes. You didn't break him.
Kendi, how do you deal with irrational jealousy? By this I mean, they start to suspect that you may be disloyal or accuse you of cheating, all right? A lot of abusers have been cited as doing this. You now then decide as a lady or a man to work harder to appease their feelings. So you cut off communications with anyone who could be considered romantically interested in you, and you sacrifice even family gatherings, all right? They act like they are victims themselves. They claim things like, you know what, in the past I had this lady who I loved and then she cheated on me. I don't want that to happen again. By the way, utaacha kuhang out now. How do you deal with irrational jealousy?
Remind your partner to get help. Tell him you're not okay. Something is wrong.
You tell him?
Yes. Get help.
Loved.
Get help. But it is the truth.
Yes.
Get help.
In
Sweetie,
what
I
voice?
love you.
Do you shout?
Sweetie, no. Hey, my friend. Wisdom. Sweetie, I love you, but I think you're not fine. Because even if I give you my phone, you'll still want something else. You're not well. I think you can be a happier man than this. I think you're not free. I think I have too much power over you. You're not free. You're not free. Make it about them. The abuser. Make it about them.
But what if they're not interested in dealing with that? So, how do you go forward? You've given them that chance. You even had tried to do this talk. But them, and how do you make them, where does the line come in regard to them taking the responsibility?
If you propose it and they don't listen, prioritize your mental health and your well-being.
So you
and your
leave them.
safety.
You leave them.
Especially if you can. Let me say this because I've learned the hard way. Living is not as easy as we make it sound. Realistically, the women who will tell you, Kendi, do I come and live with you in your house?
Yeah.
So if you cannot live, and those are a minority, see how you draw boundaries in that relationship. Okay? I tell women all the time, you're the one who decides the last time you'll be slapped. Imagine it is you.
Yes.
Can I qualify that statement? I know very many women who had been beaten. One day they just became mad. Just lose your mind. Anyway, tell them, why did you stay so long? That lose your mind. So there's this one woman who had been clobbered for the longest time. One day she decided, she took the kids to the neighbors, told the man, today one of us is dying. She took a knife and started doing, you know how you do a knife like this? The guy was like, what are you doing? No, we can talk. We can talk about this. She's like, we're not talking. See, I've been trying to talk to you for all these years. Today one of us is dying in this house. That little madness
helps.
She didn't leave the marriage, but that's the last day she was beaten. I had another different story. It's true. Another different story. Another woman, again, clobbered, roughed up. What we don't know about abusers is they're cowards. That's what we don't know about
That's
them.
not a big chance to take. Someone can stab you gleefully.
That's when you leave.
Let me
But
tell
now
you.
you live and you're
No,
dead.
not live dead. As she's saying, abusers, when you want to leave a abusive relationship, you will leave. You will not even tell anyone you're leaving. You will leave.
Yes.
You were saying?
Another story. Another lady. This guy used to club her, work on her. Good. I'm giving you real stories. So this guy one day wakes up and finds her seated looking at him. Let me tell you, he packed and left. True story. He was like, "What? What is going through her mind?
How long has she looked at me like this?
Whatever it is you decide, whether to leave or lose your mind and tell him this is the last time you're beating me, you're the one who decides. You're the one who decides the last day you're beaten. Whether if you choose to stay, be mad about drawing boundaries. If you choose to leave, you're the one who decides the last day you're beaten. That one I can stand by. And as a woman here, you agree.
I do
the one
agree.
who decides. But if you sit there and keep lying on the floor, let me tell how do you get on my back? I have to get down, right?
Yes.
Sindio, so lazima ni bend. If you keep on bending, we'll keep on getting on your back.
Yes.
So for all those victims out there, please smama, achana kulala kwa floor. Get up, draw the line. You're not helping the abuser by staying there and being worked on.
But you don't have
That's
to get
the part you clap,
you don't have to get
Emmanuel.
to the level where una nini kiss.
Where are the men so afraid of
Exactly. And I'm wondering
No,
why.
you know someone may be listening now. They go
No,
nuts.
that's why she said you get mad. You're not getting even. She didn't say get mad and get even. She said get mad. Don't mistake her.
No,
Everyone has
I
their
heard
threshold.
her.
She said get mad and act.
Yes.
Set some boundaries.
Yes.
And if you're not able to
I'm
leave-
just trying to think about, as Emmanuel was saying, somebody hearing and saying, okay, fine, tonight I'm going to Noah Kisumu.
Yes.
And then
it
the
might
guy
get-
is a psychotic brother. Sasa ukinoa Kisu, I read a very sad story. Again, I should share it with you. A young man, maybe 18, in Toronto. True story. It was in the news all over Toronto about 6 weeks ago. So this young man flunked out of school. He was in college, or so the parents thought. And he got so afraid of telling the parents. What he decided to do, through a gaming app that he was on, he jokingly told his friends who he was gaming with that he's going to kill his parents. They are from Bangladeshi, so they migrated to Toronto. And this man went to his father's bedroom with a crowbar and slashed the mom's head, killed the mom, killed the grandmother, waited for the dad, who was a taxi driver, to open the door, killed the dad and killed his sister.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right. So I'm just thinking, if especially bearing in mind that we come from very diverse cultures, I know of men who would say things like mwanamke hizi nitisha or mwanamke cannot do this to me. It can be dangerous that somebody decides to get mad in that direction, and then the guy gets madder and then kill them. How about you just park quietly when he's at work, then you leave and go?
That is for those who are leaving. Remember I said some women won't leave.
What's a better strategy for the one who's staying around?
Draw
Pretend you're
boundaries.
leaving?
How do you pretend you're
Like
leaving?
you just leave with your bag. You're not leaving forever. You know you'll come back maybe after 5 days.
You will be beaten when you come back after 5 days.
Is that a guarantee, Barbara?
Yes, let me tell you why I'm
Beaten.
saying. Let me tell you something, Emmanuel. I'm talking this from personal and people I know and from experience. When you're being abused, especially if not all, it's physical abuse, they take advantage of you, your vulnerability. You are scared about it. So yes, it might sound very harsh, but I honestly agree with Kendi. If you're not able to leave, you need to set certain boundaries or seek help.
Boundaries
And I get
would
what Eric is saying,
Yeah.
because not everyone, and I totally understand, not everyone, someone might decide to act that way and get into trouble. But if you know that, you already know the threshold you can go. So yes, don't act the night
You know,
way.
Kendi, I was just
That
feeling,
is right.
I was just feeling that
Just a moment,
violence
ju-
begets violence.
Yes.
So ukinoa Kisu, you see, anaweza noa panga.
Yes, but for Emmanuel, don't try leaving if you don't mean it.
No,
Because
just
he'll
throwing
take
out-
advantage of you. When you come back, you'll be in trouble.
You think so, Kendi?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the principle here is get off the mental state of fear.
Yes.
Stop it. Stop thinking you're helpless. That is the principle. The example was what they did, what those women did.
Yes.
Yeah. But the principle I want, and I'm glad you asked me to clarify because that's an important point. The thing I want to clarify is break that mental thought, that mental space that I am helpless, I am a victim, I am at his mercy. He'll beat me until the day he's tired. My friend, they never get tired. You're feeding a monster. And that's why there's something I think one of you asked about just keep on complying. You see, when someone is jealous, you keep on feeding the jealous, you're an enabler. That monster never gets satisfied.
Yes.
Yeah. Utashinda, you'll quit Facebook, Now quit Twitter. You'll quit. I'm not very comfortable with Twitter. You'll quit Twitter. You'll keep on quitting things to appease that jealousy. But it's just a monster. Remember, it's control. So I'm just getting more and more and more. You're the one who says, I think we have a problem.
Supposing, Kendi, and this is very, 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 very green, I am dating or married to a woman.
Yeah.
Also, we shouldn't forget that women can be abusers. There's
Absolutely.
a woman who
Yes.
tried kicking my crotch once.
Ulikuwa umefanya nini?
I'll tell you. But very quickly, I think, Emmanuel, you're about to go on a break.
Yeah,
Let
we
me ask
are.
the question so that we will talk about it further after the break.
All right, Denise Williams coming up. Remember, we are the adults in the room and you're part of this show. So using the hashtag AdultsKE, you better contribute, man, to some of the things we're talking about right here in the studio. Barbara, what are we talking about?
We're talking about how to tell if you're in an emotional or abusive relationship and how to find help.
We'll be back like a boomerang.
Old is gold. A very good
Manuel
evening to you.
Odamshopa.
A very, very good evening to you. And thank you so much for choosing 94.4 Spice FM. It's always so delightful to have you on board. Listen, we are having one-of-a-kind conversations with one-of-a-kind lady. What are we discussing today? You wonder no more how to tell if you are in an emotionally abusive relationship and ways to find help. With none other than a mental health practitioner herself, Kendi, Ashitiva. And listen, you're part and parcel of this conversation. We don't do it for ourselves. We do it just for you. So to contribute, you can go on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Our handle remains the same at SpiceFMKE, and share about where you're listening from and also your thoughts on the conversation. If you've been abused, we'd like to hear your feedback. Juma Boy Juma says he's tuned in from Webuye. The most educative show around. I think this show should be part and parcel of the BBI's top agenda as far as
Eric, you're
youths
serious?
are
That's online.
concerned. No, yeah, he says it should be. These are not my words. These are Juma Boy Juma's words. You can go and verify. And thank you so much, Juma, for your vote of confidence. Yaya Kamau says, keenly here. And by the way, guys, Adults in the Room is the real deal. Radio is finally making sense. Feels like ushikwapo shikamana during our childhood days. Emmanuel clearly has no clue what you're talking about, Kamau. He was on the other side of town and shags, so maybe he'll go and Google ushikwapo shikamana.
What that is.
Yeah, so and I see Gad, engineer Gad says he's listening from Kisumu, and Wiseman Karibu, Bob Isaboke. He says, my best people, and he's listening. Elton Sam, Wangare, a very good evening to you. Barbara, what are you hearing?
Jamie Gishuru says he's tuned in from Nyeri, loving the topic. Geoffrey Muchoma from Kisumu, Key Boss, he's enjoying the topic. Lagat Isaac from Nandi, he's tuned in and saying, hey, locked. And there's a Robert Hahindi. I like the what he wrote, and I can relate to it. He says the word that most people fear is what will people say, has kept many people in emotional abusive relationship. They fear what the church will say, what the relatives will say, what the friends will say when you walk out. And
Eric,
I can totally relate to
Eric,
him.
you're asking a question.
Yes, absolutely. So, Kendi, before we went on a break, I was thinking about my own thoughts and thinking about instances where I've been abused and where I may have abused. And one instance, this woman I was dating, we had an altercation at a joint. And then I don't know what happened. And she got really upset and tried to kick me on my crotch. She was very, very mad. So I thought, nikapiga hesabu, and I said, if I get as angry as she's gotten, because she was tipsy, all right? Sasa tungeanza kulimana mangumi hapo mali tulikuwa. So by God's grace, I became very wise. So I told her, get into the car, and then we leave this place. So she's like, no, you know who I am. You will know, I will deal with you. And she was going on with expletives. So I drove very gently. She used to live in Karen. And I got onto the road slowly. Akipiga hizo makelele. And then I dropped her at her mother's gate. And then she got out of the car and banged my door. By the way, karibu itokani mlango.
She had mad arm strength.
Alikuwa na asira ya juu sana. Who was upset in the Bible? I don't know, but as upset as whoever has ever been upset. So she banged the door and clicked and went in. So I stood there to wait for her to go in, because I didn't want to be called and said, kuna msichana uliweka hapa, hii ni KBB baby. So I waited for her to go in, and then she locked the gate, and then I reversed and went back home. But that was the last of our relationship.
Did you cry?
No. Lie for what? So I was saying I was wiser for choosing to not get to her level.
You should have even left her.
Because the idea was, if she poked me hard enough, kicked my crotch, then I say, sasa mi nakupiga na chupa, it would have gotten worse. So where I'm going with this story is, women can be abusive. A lot of the times we only like and abuse to men. Women can be abusive. They've been abusing men. But in the quest to solve these craziness, would it help from your experience to tell somebody they trust and respect? So in an ideal case, because you see, luckily I wasn't married to these demented women. If I am married to such a woman who beats me up and try to pull my crotch and slaps it elastically against my body, should I?
Sorry, I had a mental sorry.
Trust me, he'll give you that.
So should I maybe look for somebody they respect and just say, you know what, ma'am, Nyeri ako na hasira na itafanya siku ni mchome na watoto kwa nyumba. Unaweza muongelesha. Would that be another approach maybe, would you say?
That first, well done. Well done. I mean, I was just clapping for you inside. I'm like, wow, it took a lot of restraint not to punch back, especially in that very liberal environment. People would have understood that you lost it.
Yes.
So I'm sure it took a lot of restraint. I'm just not sure what made you not slap back.
Because I love my name and I love my life and I love peace. You see, look, the end of that road would have been very easy. So she'd have kicked my crotch, then I'd have taken her and smacked her against a wall, and then dragged her, then reversed on her neck, then thrown her in a pit. And then now
That's
I'd be
murder.
arrested.
That's
See, that's what I'm
you've
saying.
been,
Yeah, because the tail end of that anger goes and goes and goes and goes. Or maybe you push her violently against the wall, then she falls. Then she dies. Sasa
then-
sasa hivi ungekuwa unaongea na Eric.
And then
ningekuwa na commit.
someone would be breathing next to you right now in committee.
Really? That's where we're going.
Oh,
with
you
this.
see
Where you can go.
By the way, Kendi,
Gentlemen, get back in here.
unaona hapa inda wafungwa wao wanalala 5 and you know someone can book you and start massaging you. So just massages your neck. Cheki huyu ni wangu. And you see
And
the
you know
way
that's what they fear. Both of
unaona
them.
venye niko
Yeah.
hivi.
Hiyo njia inaweza kuweka straight.
Alafu sana anza kunitekerenja. Unaona itakuwa ni kitu ya ajabu. So now because of those thoughts nikasema wacha tu nipeleke msichana Karen. In the morning she was trying to call me and saying, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have done that. But I was just like, you know, cheers. I
I'm
think
done.
you deserve a nice violent guy so that you can be at par. Because I don't want to go down that road. So sometimes if you pause and think, you save yourself a lot of trouble.
Umeongea kama wanaume 10. Well done. It's very true. So the question was, is that a good idea to take her back to someone? Of course it is. And you're lucky you are not married to her.
Super lucky.
Super lucky.
Nilijikarangia sausage asubuhi wewe nikimba. Yesu aliyesulubiwa amefufuka yuaishi milele.
Hizo siku zingine uko na karanga sausage.
No, si sana jirudishia mwili shukrani. Sina kesi, hakuna polisi ananitafuta. Kwanza maziwa yangu, chai yangu ilikuwa thick Kendi wewe. Anyway, endelea.
Many people, violence is not easy, isn't it?
Yes.
Not everybody is violent.
Yes.
One of the things that makes us violent is previous exposure to violence. That is the truth. Violence is not easy. But if you've been exposed to violence before, you've already, there's a part of your brain that knows this is normal. So maybe part of the reason why it wasn't so automatic for you is because either you're not a violent guy naturally, or you have had that conversation with yourself about violence and agreed among, there you call yourself for a meeting, me, myself and I, and agreed as a man, this I will never do.
Yes.
But for the average person who has never reconciled in their head what violence is, it's easier to act back. Because like I said, emotions are not reliable. Emotions are very irrational.
Yes.
And anger is a very powerful emotion. And what anger does, it suppresses your ability to use logic.
Yeah.
Actually, literally in the brain, when that part of your brain that gets angry lights up, the part of your brain that makes decisions slows down. It does this. So that's why anger is so powerful. So yes, indeed, if you can run away from some of these things as fast as possible, please carry your legs and take off. As far as possible. That's a girl who needs help. That's a girl who needs help. And today it was you, tomorrow it's somebody else. And chances are, I would bet my dollar on the fact that she has been exposed to violence herself. It's not everybody is violent. It's not it's not easy to just wake up and punch someone in the face, and it's not easy. But if you've been exposed to it, it's easier for you.
Yeah.
Is it possible for such a person to change? whether a man or a woman. Okay, come from the school of thinking where if you're violent, I cut you off. That's me. I'll cut you off. But do they change? Would you give hope to someone like, hey, someone like the person that Eric was talking about, that they have a streak of violence, maybe when they're drunk or something? Do you think they can change and to have a good relationship later, especially in marriage? Or is it something you just need to say, you know what? Tunachia Yesu.
Kendi, you're going to answer that question when we come back. We're having a good time right here in studio with Kendi Ashitiva. We're talking about how to tell if you're in an emotionally abusive relationship and ways to find help. Eric, teke kulanda.
Teke Kuland. No, nili block. No,
Ulikuwa na
nili block.
speed nini
But
nini?
she had marked me. She was a tall chick. She
Hey.
wanted to destroy my gadgets.
Yeah.
Teke ilikuwa imetoka huko. Vrupu.
So only block
Destroy
kata
your
one.
lineage.
Nilishika tu nikaweka chini. Nikamwambia, I told her don't do that.
Oh, okay.
Nikamwambia ingia kwa gari twende.
Did you do higher? Okay.
But how I said don't do that yenye ilimwogopesha. It was a firm don't do that. Eh?
Good.
Oh, you did it with the lion voice.
Yeah, I just said do
What's
not
the
do
lion
that.
voice? Which lion voice?
Yeah.
And you see,
Jamani
that
mnajichocha
means
wanaume.
you did not take the victim position.
Yes,
That
yes,
lion voice was you saying, hey, that was
Yes,
your madness.
yes.
We're going to be
Well
back
done.
with more conversation. Kendi will come back and answer Barbara's question. And we're also going to pick up your call, 0719-012-600. The lines are open, so you can dash to your phone and call. It is 9 o'clock. Barbara, myself, Emmanuel, and karate master Eric Omondi, blocker number 1.
Kata one, keep quiet.
Eric will be announcing the training for the men. We're gonna come through for block training. But anyway, meanwhile, we are having a very deep discussion. We're talking about how to tell if you're in an emotionally abusive relationship and ways to find help. And we have a special guest in the building, Mrs. Kendi Ashitiva. Thank you so much for making time to come. You came so early, and I was so impressed. I was like,
Absolutely.
hey, she's here already.
Kendi
man.
is one of the special ones.
I'm telling you.
Listen, we are talking about how to tell if you're in an emotionally abusive relationship and ways to find help with Kendi Ashitiva, as Emmanuel has said. Remember, Emmanuel, a quick one. We haven't reminded the listener in a minute. We are the first and only radio station to come alive in a visual format. It's quite an experience. You want to go onto your PC or your phone and check it out, www.spicefm.co.ke. You'll see Barbara in her complete form. You'll see Kendi in her mustard top. Is it mustard? Or
Yes,
yellow?
yes.
Mustard.
Mustard.
Look at me.
You guys,
Good Lord.
apart from karate colors.
Unajua? And then
He's a ladies' man.
you will actually see Emmanuel's with his Lumumba's spectacles, which look very good.
Asante, bro.
Yes, so head over there. Remember also, you can share your thoughts and views about where you're listening from, and also just generally about the conversation. How to tell if you're in an emotionally abusive relationship and ways to get help. And I always love hearing from Nessie. Nessie says, hi guys, I've just tuned in. Karibu Nessie, karibu. Karibu. She says, I've just tuned in. Emotional abuse can be very subtle, such that the victim thinks it's normal behavior. And she ends by saying tafakari. And Munyasia Titus says, thank you, Spice FM, for playing great music and the insightful discussions every single day. It always makes me so very happy and keep me going.
Do you think the president has found out about our station?
Yes, he does.
He must have. Lazima anajua watu wanasikizaga na Magi. Yes, wanasikizaga na Magi. So karibu sana
Wali parliamentarians wanakujaga asubuhi. So of course anajua watu wa bunge kama
Shout
wanajua.
out.
Your Excellency, nilikuwa nataka nichukue fursa hii kwa heshima kubwa sana Mheshimiwa Rais kusema ni asante. Tunasema ni asante sana kwa kuchukua muda wako mtukufu Rais kusikiza stesheni nukta 94.4 nukta 4 FM. Rais mtukufu, tunakupenda na tunasema uendeshe nchi mbele.
Mtukufu Rais, usiangalie nywele ya huyu dada Barbara ushangae. Hiyo inaitwa mohawk, mtukufu Rais.
Mtukufu Rais anajua. You know, I've met him in person. Unlike you two are trying to attract him, I have met him in person.
Hey Barbara, you do not say you're very subtle.
Yes.
Subtle, is it?
No, I'm not bragging, I'm just saying it.
Good Lord, good Lord.
Anyway,
Order.
gentlemen, I had a question for Kendi. Do you think a man or a woman who is emotionally abusive, and especially if you found out they're not ready to change or accept that they're in that state or take responsibility, do you think they have a chance of going to the right side, or sometimes you just need to cut your losses?
Anyone can change.
You think?
But
so?
yes, but
Even the character for one, Eric for Kata one. That
imagine
lady.
even that one can change. Let me tell you, me, I've learned as a psychologist, as a therapist, I've learned never to write anyone off.
So we should not give up.
Wait, that's not what I said.
That's where I'm going.
I'm saying I cannot condemn them to a life of abuse.
Okay.
Then they won't be abusers for the longest time.
Okay.
But you have to decide, am I going to chance my life here waiting? That is your call. I cannot make that call for you.
Yes.
However, I must give hope to people who are victims of abuse, products of abuse, live with abuse. Abuse became their normal. They carried it into their marriages, into their lives. Imagine you can change. You can change. You just need to be taught, learn, appreciate, learn your triggers. Okay, what triggers me? What makes me? And work at it.
What are some of the triggers that people get?
Very good question. It depends on the abuse you went through. So many times there's fear of losing this person. Okay? Especially if I've gone through abandonment myself. If my past is full of abandonment, I have my mother left, my father didn't want anything to do with me. And now I'm in the relationship with the man, especially for men, because I'm the person in power. And here I am dating a chick, and I'm, no, where's the kuniwacha, imagine? Many times, it's not so much you they want, it's how you make them feel. There's a difference. You understand?
Okay.
Sometimes it's not you they want, it's how you make them feel. So you cannot leave me, I need you.
It's a feeling.
It's a feeling. I feel better with you. I feel safer. I
So it's
feel
not
wanted.
me.
It's let me tell you, emotions. See, me in psychology, the things that I've learned about emotions, I'm like, wow. And many times, and that's why I'm trying to be sensitive to the abuser. They're not consciously aware of what this person means to them. Yeah, like there's a particular case we're dealing with right now. This guy is so obsessed with this woman. He can't stand her, but he doesn't want her to go. Do you hear how sick that sounds?
I can't stand you, but
He
I
can't
don't.
stand her. Hasn't been in their marital bed for the last 3-4 years. He just wants her there. You just stay here.
It's like punishment.
If you go back, he has a lot of trauma in his life. He lost his sibling painfully in the house. After that, his parents had an abusive marriage. So he himself has a lot of trauma and a lot of pain, which he had never dealt with. FYI, he's a functional young man. I can't even tell you what he does because you'll never take that thing again. Yeah?
Yes.
But he looks very functional, but he has a traumatic past he never dealt with. But we walk down the aisle and we marry this man, not realizing this guy has baggage. And this baggage has turned him to an anxious, paranoid, obsessive human being. And he's actually on antidepressant and anti-anxiety medication. That's how bad it is. Where are you? Where are you going? I need to... For the longest time, his wife couldn't wear makeup.
Yeah, I
For
know
the
people
longest
like
time.
that.
Yeah. She couldn't wear anything short. It sounds irrational, but this is a functional human being.
Why can't someone like that just get a nice, lovely Mokorino girlfriend?
So how important is it when you're meeting someone to dig deep into someone's past?
It's very important. And that's why as a therapist, I have such a big problem with our premarital counseling classes. I am sorry. I did them back then, but I have a problem with them. And here's the reason why. We take people from different backgrounds and tell them, this is how a healthy marriage works. Listen, if I have a violent background and you don't, how we hear the word fight is two different things. Isn't it?
Yes.
So when a couple fights, this is how you do it. What I had and what she had are not the same.
Yes.
True or false?
True.
If I grew up and my dad was a sole provider, or my mom was a provider, and then you come and say, whoever provides is the leader of the home, you've said two different things to do to two different people.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
This is what I think premarital counseling should be. It should explore who I am. Chunguza me, where am I coming from?
Yes.
And a good therapist, if I sit with a couple, I can tell, these are the issues you guys are likely to have in the future. Are you ready? Get married knowing this guy has a past he's never dealt with. This chick he's prone to addiction. Understand that your background has mental illness. Your background has this issue. Go in knowing what you're getting into. Does that make sense? So that's my problem with our current premarital counseling classes. That's my problem with how fast we are just jumping into marriages and just jumping into families. Please take your time and know, mtu ni nani? And even the beauty of it is, even me as I go through counseling, I'm getting to know, oh my God, those are my issues. Because it's feedback. I tell you, hey, really? Your dad died and you never mourned?
Or you never cried or did this.
Or like I asked my client this morning, you're running. What are you running away from? Sometimes the physical running, I wake up to run, is a testament of what I'm running from in my own life. And we ended up seeing there's a pattern of running away from things. Yeah, she never sits to sort out stuff. Take off. You know,
it's very funny you've said that. I lost my mother in 2015.
Yeah.
In September the 1st, and I was not living here. I was in Cape Town, and I got a call. My sister texted me and said on the 1st of September, she said we lost her, and from that day, when I flew back into the country, I picked up running, and I ran for 1 year 6 months, and I used to run for so long. I'd run from Ngong Road. Unaona hapo hiyo mahali wanashutigi nini? What is that place called? The studio? That's
the showground.
The showground, Jammu. So I'd run, not Jammu, Babra, the showground, near showground. I'd run
SK.
I'd run from the showground all the way to ABC Place and back without stopping. So, and then later on, it just hit me, good Lord, I've been grieving for so long. So in the process, because of the pain I was feeling inside, I put it into an
channeled the
activity. I
energy.
channeled it into and then I shed so much weight. So I'd wake up in the morning, get on the road, and non-stop. So that was my first route. The second route was I ran from that place to Kipasa in Karen. So I'd go, turn at Kipasa, then run back. So yeah, so that's actually true. I can attest to that.
So if you dig and find something, do you maybe take it easy in the relationship until you discuss those things?
Imagine.
Or you flee?
I remember I said kuna weakness na wickedness. If we are to flee, we'll all flee.
Yes.
Kwani who is perfect here?
true.
Even me, I'm a therapist, but I have gone through enough sessions of therapy to deal with my past.
Yes.
A relationship is as good as the people in it. That is the truth.
Nothing changes.
Nothing changes. A marriage, a wedding is not a miracle service. The idiot you married is the idiot you go home with.
Yes.
Nothing changes. Hata tukiwaombea tuwapake, nothing
Holy
changes.
Hata olive oil
Hata olive
mkono
oil,
na archbishop.
hata ulete nini.
It's
It's not a miracle service. So guys, deal.
You know, Kendi, I was talking to a friend of mine, very close friend of mine. His name is Raphael, and he likes laughing at me. I say to him in a joking manner that it's very important that after you do these nice handy-dandy coffees in Nairobi, that maybe you take a drive before you say I do, and just quickly do a thorough knowledge about where this person is going to do life with is coming from. Learn about her history, even her medical history. And he likes saying, hey, manager, yawa. He calls me manager. So I'm like, no, it's very important. My friend, a very good friend of mine, got married. And 3 years in, this guy says, oh, by the way, when she was pregnant with his child, says, oh, by the way, I don't know how it skipped my mind, but just wanted to tell you that in our family, we normally have sickle cell.
Doing
just very
like
casually, yeah.
And it's very genetic.
And she said, well, that's really a serious information you have to have told me. And I just said, I don't know how it just, that's why sometimes I'm sick. I'm off. I also am positive with sickle cell anemia. Not to abandon somebody like that. But you see, if you are taking coffee and huasus, unajua? Give me the kwasu with the
bagel
with the almond in it, not the plain kwasu. So
and cheese.
After all the kwasus in the world, I think it's very important that people have conversations around what are you really about. All right, is that important in your assessment to dig deep and find out about somebody's history?
Dig as deep as possible. Find out how this person has handled the issues in their lives before. Nothing changes. Find out when this person suffered a failure, what was their reaction? What is their coping mechanism? Actually, I was talking to one of the young girls I mentor. Told her, your boyfriend is broke. Fantastic. This is a good time to get to know how he handles brokenness.
Jesus.
Yes. You're dating. This is a good time. I told her, zoom in. Zoom in. See how he handles brokenness. Actually, fold your hands and watch. Because brokenness will happen in life. True or false?
True.
Today you have money, tomorrow you don't. Today your bashara is doing well, tomorrow it's gone. Today you work for sports better, tomorrow it's closed by one press release and you're unemployed.
Yes.
So problems are a good sign for us to know, hey, what is my coping mechanism? Because marriage will bring issues. Because you have not yet had issues, they'll come. So if your partner's coping mechanisms when things are south is the bar, that will not change. You'll be having issues and they take off to the bar. That has always been their coping mechanism. You just never saw it. You never saw it because you never took time to ask. You never took time to ask because you thought, what's the worst that can happen? My friend, the worst can happen. I know when we are told, you're like, it's so good to find out the medical history of your partner, the psychological history. When you hear violence, please, let your antenna be up. When you hear substance abuse,
Akona
alcoholism,
appetite ya pombe.
if you hear alcoholism, yeah, my dad is alcoholic, but please, antenna ikwe juu. If you hear anything that sounds a bit excess, ask.
Yeah.
Ask, inquire, even go see a psychologist and ask, in your experience, unaonanga hizo vitu zikiendaje? Because nothing new happens.
Yeah.
You know, Eric, I came from a home where we used to be shouted at. So I used to shout vimeja hapo in my home. I was a shouter.
All right.
Sasa wife kumbe angeenda afanye your research. Sasa watu wana shout kwao bana. We like cope with this stuff. But I'm enjoying the conversation, Eric, and
so am
Barbara,
I.
man.
So
It's one of those conversations that are hitting me in the heart, man. This is Spice FM. I'm in studio with Eric, Barbara, and myself, Emmanuel, and we have a special guest. And what are we talking about, Barbara?
How to tell if you're in an emotionally abusive relationship and ways to find help.
And who better to take us through this couple of minutes but Donnell Jones with his smooth voice. After we come back, I'm going to ask you if emotional abuse is beyond relationships and if it can go into friendship. We'll be back.
all right.
Hii mziki inanibamba mbaya.
Do you normally do you normally light your candles alone at home and then you draw
Really,
the
Eric?
curtains? No.
Alone?
You don't light the candles?
Say you like them with the missus.
Which candle?
Emmanuel
What
unaniangusha.
candles are you talking about?
Mishuma.
No, why should I light?
But see,
But
romantic.
why is
Hapa
suspicious?
kuna light.
No.
Hapa tumelight
see,
candles.
maybe you need a
Hii
mood.
ngoma imenibamba hapa kwa studio. Are there candles here?
A mood at home
Eric, me, I
alone.
like the candles, even if you didn't ask me. I do.
The scented ones. Then unatoka kwa bafu kifua tupu.
Wewe ukisikiza nani Billy Ocean, you light candles?
No, but why are you escaping that?
No,
story?
sinakuuliza. Maybe you do that, you think everyone
Anapika
does it.
lentils bila
Unatoka
shati.
hivi kifua tupu then una towel.
You get your man. 19 minutes past 9 o'clock. I'm in studio with Barbara, and we have a special guest in the building. We adults mwingine ni kama yuko.
Who adult, he's checked out for a few minutes, but he'll be back.
I think atarudi. Huyu mwingine ni imposter. So we're in studio with Kendi Ashitiva, and we're talking about how to tell if you're in an emotionally abusive relationship and ways to find help. Tell you what, people, we want to pick up a couple of phone calls. 0719012600. Nimeinua volume, Barbara, ya nini?
Yes.
Telephones, and nimewasha. It's now on the air. So I'm going to pick up your calls from now. Spice FM, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Lona.
Poa sana.
Leo network imeenda wapi huko penye huko? Hey, Lona, you have to call back. Network is not good where you from.
Leona kwa Kiambu karibu na ile river.
Na leo amepiga mapema.
Acha tuendelee tuone.
Hello, Moses.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Fine.
What you want to talk to us?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Moses, habari ya Misri?
Hey, niko zuri.
Karibu sana hapa Adults in the Room. What are your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, today I would like to talk about that, the topic.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that, we've heard the stories, people live in one room, like husband and wife,
Yeah.
but they end up having violence. So one thing people should know is that you don't have the authority over the other person.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a person like you are. So you are not a police or someone to be taking care of them or being above them. Maybe giving them laws and controlling their lives.
Yeah, thank you so much, Moses, for your feedback. We have our guest here for the next 39 minutes, so let's take advantage. Hello, Charlotte. Hello. Charlotte, man, the network is bad. Enda hapo kwa hiyo nini, hiyo mti yetu. Hiyo ya hapo kwa. Unajua kwa mti hapa kuna network, Barbara?
Kubwa sana.
Kwenye kuna shida ya network?
Kwetu hakuna shida ya network. Niko na booster.
Huko Kisaju.
Next after my gate.
Spice FM, hello. Yes.
Hello, my name is Maina from Thika.
Yes, Maina.
Na napongeza sana, at least leo nimepiga ikaingia.
Karibu sana, my brother.
mimi sasa niseme my wife sasa hata yuko hiyo tabia
Tabia gani?
hiyo kumnyorosha.
Oh, pole.
Nimemnyorosha mara nyingi, lakini
wewe umemnyorosha
ama yeye amekunyorosha?
Kumnyorosha mara nyingi, ameenda kwao.
Pole, I'm taking back my pole.
So do you wanna
Yes, I am. You were not going to beat a woman, and I congratulate you. I'm sorry.
So Maina, are you calling that have you learned that you're gonna change?
Sana nataka kuambia course mbona na kufanya hivyo. Kuna siku
Endelea.
Tumekuwa in a relationship for the past 3 years. Tumekuwa in a relationship na my wife miaka 2. Nikakuja kupata message fulani ya watu, alikuwa ananiambia ni makazi zake, nikakuja kupata kumbe si makazi zake, ni my boyfriend wake wa kitambo. Sasa na nikajua na kaniambia nikamsamehea. Sasa akifanya kosa kidogo ninaweka, unaona?
Endelea.
Nikakuwa so bitter kabisa. Sasa itakuwa akifanya tu kitu kidogo ninaweka, kama kosa tu kidogo ninaweka. Sasa mara moja naripuka, I lose myself, nirosha vibaya sana.
Mbona unakaa ni
So
kama
Maina,
umefurahi?
have you learned from our conversation here that is abuse?
Yeah. Sasa ndio nasema.
Yes.
Saa zingine si kupenda, yani lose yourself, lakini sasa napongeza kipindi sana, at least napata kulearn kitu.
All right. Kendi, do you want to talk to that brother?
Yes, I do. Jina yako ilikuwa gani?
Maina.
His name was
Maina.
Maina.
Maina, makosa ya kwanza ambayo first, congratulations, asante kwa kutupigia na kuongea na sisi. Lakini the first mistake you made, my brother, was kuweka vitu. Ndio maana ulilipuka. We encourage people, if something is wrong, talk about it. There is no excuse for I was nilikasirika. That is not an excuse in a court of law. My friend, utafungwa. Okay? Real men have the courage to talk. Fungua mdomo useme, madam, hapa tuko na issue. Call people. Hata kama umeshinda kuongea, call the relatives. Call the people wale ulipeleka dowry.
Yes.
Talk about it. Violence is not an option. It's not. It doesn't matter who you are. It's actually illegal to beat up a thief, isn't it?
Yes.
How much more your wife?
Yes.
The mother of your children. That's not right. Unanisikia ndugu yangu?
No,
he's gone off.
Yeah, he's gone off. But I'm
Yeah.
sure he's
I'll also like to add something. Whether a woman cheats on you, whatever mistake she does, you have no right to lay your hands or a finger on her. That also applies to a man.
Absolutely.
True.
Absolutely. If you're a woman out there and you're beating up your husband, that's just mannerless, mama. That's just stop it. Stop it today.
Hata
Stop it at
kutuchuna.
9:25. Just stop
Eric.
it.
Kutuchuna, Kendi, tumechunwa hapa nje.
Akipole.
Sa
Ni
mnachuna,
makosa.
unajua kwenye ni watoto. Okay, I'm sorry. Mtu anakuchuna. Okay, that's
Imagine.
wrong.
Na unachuniwa kwa nyonyo, kwa nini, kwa thighs huku. Aish. Mwache kutuchuna.
I know we are laughing, but the point is, stop it.
Yes.
Kuchunwa ilikuwa hata.
Ama unaumwa. You do know the other day I beat my tongue, by the way, by mistake. Then I learned how strong the human teeth are. And some women just woom you casually.
They think they're dogs.
Does emotional abuse include, does it go beyond marriage into, say, friendship and workplace relationships?
The very definition of emotional abuse is putting someone in a position where they feel anxious, afraid, their self-esteem is low. The one place where there's a lot of emotional abuse is in churches.
Yes.
For real, churches?
Yes.
I thought you were going to say offices.
Offices has abuse based on power, you know?
Yes.
Power dynamic.
Let's start with churches.
Churches have a lot of abuse. We don't question.
Yes.
Do we question the man of God?
No, we don't.
We don't question. He intimidates us with scripture or with that person aliniguza. Look what the Lord has done for them. We don't question. We are intimidated and we are controlled. Isn't it? If you give this will happen. Wherever you see manipulation,
Yes.
whenever you see manipulation, there's some form of abuse. All right? Whenever you see manipulation, there's some form of abuse. So emotional abuse is not just in a romantic context. I want to challenge everybody who is in a religious setting. Please. If you feel there's control, something is wrong. Remember I said love does not instigate fear.
Yes.
There's no freedom. You can never question the man of God. You can never question his character. Because, because he's up there, we don't... Wait, excuse me, why don't we question? You're beating your wife, but you're preaching. Wait, stop.
Yes.
Your wife has a black eye. Let's first discuss that before you preach the sermon, okay? Let's discuss what has happened to the money. Let's discuss why the church land is in your name and not in the church's name. There's abuse everywhere. As long as there's control, manipulation, there's abuse. So it can happen.
You're talking about offices.
Offices is more. It's more of what I see commonly is sexual abuse, where even women nowadays are very notorious in sexually abusing young men.
Yes.
Making unwelcome sexual comments like, "Hey, if I just took you home tonight, I can show you a really good time." Or a guy just telling you, hey, or just grabbing your butt or grabbing your boobs on their way. That's still abuse.
Kuna rafiki yangu alilambwa na boss wake.
What is that?
God.
No.
I wasn't ready.
Alimlamba kwa masikio tu na akamwambia we. Sile tu azinaweza kulamba sana wewe.
Eric, the things your friends and you have gone
aliogopa sana. In fact, we sat with him for long. Imagine randomly out of nowhere akafanya
That's funny.
I wish the viewers would see what you just did.
That is www.spicefm.co.k. You can see what I go through every other day.
So do you maybe?
But Emmanuel, why are you not acknowledging that abuse?
I'm a lambo. It's a serious thing. I'm a lambo.
This guy must go slowly. No. Do you recognize that it can traumatize you?
It can.
Can you imagine someone leaking you randomly?
In fact,
Kwanza alilamba hapa Kendi.
If it's
like akuja mpaka hapa.
Eric, was it your friend or was it you?
No,
are you asking
friend.
for a friend?
No, my friend.
No, uliona bila alilambo mpaka.
Let me explain you.
Let me tell you why it's abuse, Eric. Because kama ni mdosi wako amekulamba hivyo. Ujui kama upanguze hiyo mate.
Yes. Juu alikuwa tu hapo still. Masikio yake Kendi kaanza kufanya hivi. Peke yake tu bila hata kuingililia. Ilikuwa kitu ya ajabu.
But whenever a relationship has control and has no freedom, just that something is wrong. But there's freedom even with your children.
Yes.
Yes. They're allowed to tell you what they think. Yes. Every good relationship must have some level of freedom.
Yes. Every good relationship must have some level of freedom. And the gems. Yeah. This show is on fire. We are the adults in the room. Let's quickly go. We'll come back before Barbara. You can say what?
Rumpelstiltskin.
Workplace relationships. And you're talking about, because you've talked about power. If there's power, there could be abuse. Abuse of that power. So do you normally talk to like HR guys? And because I feel like in the workplace, there's a lot of emotional abuse.
Tell me the kind of emotional abuse you think exists.
I don't know, maybe someone who's like above you can come and just say something which
or just grope you, fill you up.
Yes.
Cheki unatishanagaje wewe.
That's the sexual abuse we're talking about earlier. Whenever there's power at play, it's prone to abuse. Isn't it?
Yes.
Whenever there's power in anywhere, there's a predisposition for abuse.
Absolutely.
And that's why
Absolutely.
HRs are there to manage the people in power.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy for them to abuse you. And one of the things I've learned as I deal with corporates is the leadership is mostly a heart issue. It's not a head issue. Let me say that again. Leadership is out of the heart comes the issues of life. Leadership is a heart issue. I've worked with leaders who, after a few sessions, they come and tell me, "Do you know my team told me I've changed, and they didn't even know I was coming for therapy." Imagine that. And we're dealing with other things, their personal life, but it was affecting their leadership at work. So they tell me, I had a meeting and my colleagues were like, "Can we tell you something? You've changed
for the good."
For the good, and they had no idea he was going for counseling to deal with his personal life. And I said earlier, I've learned that whenever you see someone at work, obsessive, compulsive, controlling, there's a part of their life that's falling apart. Take that to the bank.
Yes.
There's a part of their life. So they're coming to work too. We're naturally preservative in nature. I need to preserve myself. So, I am here. This has to work. I have to. Your brain desires order. So since there's chaos in one area, you run to another area to create.
It's like you're channeling.
Yes, like I need to create some sense of order somewhere else. And so where do I have power? Right here. So mtajua hamjui. So every time you see someone at work who's being a bit too excessive, I guarantee you, take it to the bank, there's a part of their life that's falling apart.
Hata tuwezi pumua.
How about
There's a part of their life that's falling
finally
apart.
in my list, friendships, you think? In friendships? Because you have power over me, you're my best buddy.
Yeah.
Sometimes, in fact, the relationships which are, you can have a toxic friendship where, like, this guy has been my buddy for so long, I can't watch on with him, but, it's abusive.
It's true. And many times we stay in those abusive friendships because of how long we've known them. I've known this guy from campus, man. I've known this chick. Hey, let me tell you, relationships evolve. It's fine. Let them go. Let them go. Imagine, prioritize your well-being. And I keep saying, listen to what your feelings are data. You know how they say a business is driven by data?
Yes.
Your feelings are data. If suddenly you don't like hanging out with this guy, he always puts you down. He'll put you down and he'll say, "Hi, you guy, you're just being a wimp. Watch your mama." But he's always putting you down, always making comments that belittle you, always making funny jokes about your car, about your job. Just if you have a friend who's always putting you down and saying you're being dramatic, at your mama, that stopped being your friend a while ago.
There's a friend of mine who used to tell me that my wife is a kid. Cheki we mtu dem wako ni mtoi bana. Udem ni mto. So I'm like, what are you saying, man? You remember that guy?
But
Eric,
you allowed
remember
them to
that
say
friend of
that
mine,
about
the
your
guy who
spouse.
came from America.
All right.
We weren't even married at that time. We were just dating. So I felt like, man, this guy is like me. This is an important relationship to me.
Yes.
Whether I'm mtoi or not.
He's bastardizing your choices.
And I actually cut him off.
Well done. No one has the right to put you down. Especially when you tell them, I didn't appreciate that comment. And their response is what? Acha umama. You're just being insane. You're being overly sensitive. You're just being dramatic. You're emotionally abusing me because I'm telling you, this is hurting my feelings and you're continuing to do it. You've moved from weakness to wickedness.
Yes.
Because you're deliberately hurting my feelings despite me perpetually telling you, boss, sikulai your comment will make. Umse, come on, umse.
I like what you're saying. No one should put you down.
No one should put you down.
0719.
And no relationship should instill fear.
Absolutely.
Barbara, what's the number?
The number is 0719012600. We are picking your calls till now, the top of the hour. Please remember, when you call, reduce the volume of the radio, opine on the topic, and be louder. We are talking about how to tell if you are in an emotional, abusive relationship and ways to find help.
Hello, Sam.
Hi,
How are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for the great show, guys. You guys are really educative.
Thank you so much, sir. Do you have a question
Yeah,
for our guest?
Hi, Kendi.
Hi.
I'm your great fan since those days of TV.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're a real blessing.
Asante
So, quick question, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I once had a friend. We had something in common, but this kind of a person was so irritated with everything and anything. And I was kind of wondering, like, how would you even find to know what really makes this person so irritated by anything, like any slight thing becomes a big issue.
And your question is?
How can you fact find, or how can you investigate, or rather, how can you know how to deal with a person who gets so irritated so quickly?
I would say this. Remind me your name?
His name is Sam.
Sam.
Yes.
Sam, remember you're a friend. You're not a psychologist. I'd say stick to your lane. Be a friend. A friend tells you the truth and tells you where you can get help. You understand? I've seen people that have literally, because you can go down a road you're not able to come back from. And your relationship may never recover your fact-finding mission. You understand? So I would say this. If you see a struggle in your friend, I've had people who tell me, I'm bringing my pal, I'll even pay for them the session. I need to be your friend. I can't be your therapist, which is the truth.
Yes.
You are not trained to handle some things. It may affect how you see them. Okay? There are some things you don't want to find out about your friends. Imagine. That is the truth. There are some things that you may not be able to handle because you're just a friend. So stick to your lane. Be a friend. Tell them, I've noticed this about you. I think you should talk to someone. And don't say it once. Say it again. I really think you're not happy. I think you should talk to someone. And even if they don't take the number now, just send them the number. I'll send you a number. And leave it at that. All right? I've seen clients who come after a whole year. They tell me, hey, all my pals have given me your number. Back at different people who don't know you have given me your number. They come after a year. but your work is as a friend to point it out, because there are things you'll see they don't see in themselves, isn't it? So it's your work to say, hey, nowadays you're angry, nowadays you're drinking too much. Do you know that it's your work to tell your friend, hey boss, squeezy,
Check your friend.
sana. Ama, hey, how come you're changing mamas every other day, dude? What's going on? Yeah, how come your wife is no longer happy? By the way, give your friends honest feedback. Let it be gentle. Okay, let it be the right timing. Let them know you're coming from a good place. And if worst comes to worst, give them a number. Call these guys. I cannot tell you how many clients I've had who say, my pal gave me your number 6 months ago, but I wasn't ready. And give them time to get ready. Don't force. Give them time. But tell them, I'm here, I'm your pal, but I think you need to talk to someone about this issue.
All right.
Yeah.
Spice FM, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Network issues, man. Please call back, brother. Spice FM, hello. All right, let's talk to Brian. Brian,
How are you?
how's Syokimau, brother?
It's fine.
Umepotea sana huko Syokimau, hata upigi simu bana.
Napiganga nyota amshiki traffic.
Brian.
Forgive us. Ni system.
Yeah.
Talk to
I
us.
wanted to ask, as a friend, you can be the first person to notice the difference in your bishte yako either akili. But then,
Brian, you better call back, brother. The network is messed up. I'm gonna wait for your phone call. Call back, Brian.
Fundi wa viatu wa
Spice FM, hello.
Hello, Spice FM.
Yes, sir.
Huyu ni Kevo
Kevo from where?
from Mombasa.
Karibu sana Kevo. What's up?
Kwa watu bana.
Do you wanna switch off your radio, Kevo?
Yeah, switch off.
All right, go ahead.
Sasa mimi topic ninaisikiliza na sina mingi ya kusema, ila nitasalia tu kusikiliza tu. Mengi anasema hapo, nitasalia tu kusikiliza tu hivyo tu.
All right, karibu sana Kevo. Mazi Mombasa kuko fiti?
Yeah, kuko fiti, kamvua tu kidogo.
Sawa bro. Thank you so much. Kevo is one of our day ones, huh?
Kevo leo amepiga akasema atupumulie.
Kevo anatupenda mazejo.
Why do you come with this? Where do you get these things from?
It's his nature.
Spice FM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
You're talking to Andrew
Andrew from where?
from Mombasa, Changamwe.
Cool, brother.
Andrew, hapo Changamu ule fundi wa nini alitoka?
Fundi mgani tena Eric?
Huyu Abdalla hapo.
Now listen.
Sasa unakataa kujibu na huyu
Andrew,
fundi.
switch off the radio.
Andrew, switch off the radio alafu mwambie Abdalla hata yupo hapo.
Abdalla yuko. Now listen.
Yes. Go ahead.
The problem with the people that are so emotionally, instead of being stressed, we know that they're trying to defend something. And as much as you're trying to defend something, it's like you are covering a burning charcoal with a blanket. After that, the fire will be so big now, it will not be, unless now you get somebody else. And the more you are looking for somebody else to try to solve the issue, you're exposing yourself.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew. Thank you for your... Kendi, do you have anything to say to Andrew? All right.
Hello.
Yeah, we've heard you, brother. Thank you so much.
Amesema Abdalla ndiye aliasha jiko.
Kusema Abdalla aliasha jiko.
Unacheza na Andrew. Andrew at
No, that's a good point. Amesema usichukue blanketi yako.
Abdalla.
Abdalla yuko.
No, si ndio alikuwa anasema Abdalla.
Si amesema usichukue blanketi ya Abdalla ufunike kwa jiko.
Oh, okay.
You guys are not
lakini
here.
Ni utani, lakini alikuwa ameinclude utani wako wa Abdalla. Abdalla mgani uongelea?
Okay.
Now because it was called from Changamu, all of you've changed your intonation to Swahili.
You guys are shocked, eh? You're like, Uni Manu.
0719012600.
Remember, we have our guest for only 15 more minutes, and we have to take advantage. I'm gonna pick up one more call, and then we're gonna go on a break. Spice FM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Please be louder.
If someone wants to get you, Kendi, how do you, what's your number? Do you share your number with the
Or your
public, or someone will
organization?
follow you online?
Yes, just go to, I run a company called Niskize.
Yeah.
Niskize is Swahili for listen to me. And we have a counseling call center. You can call a number right now and talk to a counselor over the phone.
Yes.
Instead of punching your wife on the phone, if you're angry, it's okay to be angry, but please don't work on people. So I
Yes.
can give out that number for guys to call.
Yes.
So that they can get help. I may not be able to pick everybody's calls, but that place
a call
has
center.
yes. So do I give the number now?
Yes.
So the number is 0900. So it's 0900 620 800.
Please repeat it.
0900 620 800.
I think when we come back, you're going to tell us more, especially now, like your social media handles. Like
Yes.
apart from the phone call,
Yes.
how else we can reach you? We're hanging out in studio, and we're talking about what, Barbara?
We're talking about how to tell if you are in an emotional, abusive relationship and the ways to find help.
We have a special guest in studio, Kendi Ashitiva, and we're together all the way till 10. Thank you so much for your feedback so far, but we still have 15 more minutes together, and we're going to use that time just to glean out all the knowledge she has. She has to leave it here today, at least as much as we can get. Meanwhile, we have some TLC coming up right now. Barbara, do you have a red bulb in your house?
I have more than red things. So.
But what do you do with them now that ulisema umeretire? Not the way
No,
Barbara
no, no,
looks
no, no, no,
suspect,
no,
eh?
no, no, no. I have not said I've retired.
Oh, so you're
I
not confessing
no, no,
now?
no,
Ah, yeah,
just
yeah, yeah, yeah,
wait.
yeah, yeah.
Relax, Baba.
Ziko wapi hizo makofi?
I have not
Confession at last.
I'm not retired. I'm just on pause.
Oh, you're on pause.
Yes.
Sasa si bulb zitaribika.
Haziwezi haribika. Erika alikwambia mi najiashianga candles. Najichezea mziki. What? If you can't do me, I do it. Jipe raha mwenyewe.
Eric,
Self-love.
do you have red
You know,
bulbs?
when a man hears that, he goes all the way. honey, yeah. I don't think you're saying the same thing, but
Exactly.
Do you have red bulbs?
No, but I have scented candles.
Why?
No, just
Ooh,
I
that's
like
nice.
my living room smelling nice, and then I read a nice book while taking green tea.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you have
I-
lipstick as well?
And
I
that
think
time,
you're going to a bad place.
No,
At a green tea.
you know, Kendi, one of the things I forgot to mention is here we have authentic conversation. The person who's owned up to cross-dressing.
It's on this table, but we're not going to say
yeah.
Joking.
You guys
So you own
cross-dress
up,
also?
yes.
Or non Emmanuel Upper. Emmanuel cross-dress. In fact, on Monday, I wish you came on Monday. He had stockings. Because you know it rained, eh?
Yes, but that's
You guys, you're a punk.
Emmanuel.
These guys are
You
lying.
look so masculine. Umeficha wapi
No
hiyo?
way. No, Eric,
but don't worry, Eric ndo
but Eric,
kupaka
you should
mafuta,
stop that.
huyu wajipaki mafuta kwa magoti na sehemu
Kwa thighs.
zingine. Na Eric anajipaka kwa thighs.
we are the adults. in
Did
the
you
room.
get the bikers you're telling me about?
You
I
guys
gave him a
unakumbuka-
contact.
Unakumbuka when we were being trained for this job, tulifundishwa maneno ya libel. You know you can be sued for libel. By your colleague.
By your colleague.
Cheki huyu ni libel. Ni libel. So we're in studio with Kendi Ashitiva, and we're talking about how to tell if you're in an emotionally abusive relationship and ways to find help. And Kendi, thank you so much for making the time. We just, thank you. Just thank you so much. Did they give you the lasagna nini as we were walking?
Was I was walking in?
They didn't give you lasagna hapa na
Sikupewa
nini?
chochote.
Yeah.
Wacheni
Mumbi
bana.
bakery ya
Chai
lasagna
ni
for
hao.
guest
Nilikuwa
Ray.
tulichange menu,
Munipatie
ni
kwa
chai.
ita bana.
Thank
Hey.
you. Mazee bana.
Ni chai, lasagna ni ya later.
So
Patieko kachai ati.
Kendi has been dropping gems all evening long, and I'm just interested in people who want to reach you. And you're telling us about your organization. You want to do that again for someone who's just joined us?
Yes. So here's the thing, guys. It's not what you talk about that kills you. It's what you don't talk about. Okay?
Yes.
It's not what you talk about that kills you. It's what you don't talk about.
Yes.
Open your mouth. If something is wrong, open your mouth. Find someone to talk to. Okay? Hii Afrika, counseling ya wazungu. Shauri yako. Utakufa hapo tuwache na wazungu.
Yes.
All right? Open your mouth. And that's why I set up this company called Niskize. And Niskize is Swahili for listen to me. At the other end of this number I'm going to give you is a counselor who will listen to you. They don't have to know your name. They don't have to know your real name. You can be anything you want to be. But just talk to someone. Okay? So the number is 0900 620 800. And I set it up because I know some people may not be willing to walk in, but they'll make a call. They'll make that anonymous call.
Yes.
They'll call and say, hey, mi hapa waliniko. And let me tell you, our longest call was 3 hours, 20 minutes. Straight.
Oh, wow.
From a guy. Do you know when our biggest callers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wanangangana huku nje,
Eric, you can
wanataka-
call yourself Peaches. You call
Yeah. And the other reason I'll say that is because abuse thrives in silence. Yeah. It thrives in silence. It thrives in shame and guilt. It's like mold. It grows in the dark. So shed a light on it. Shout. Kama unachapwa, sema unachapwa. Find someone you can tell. Don't sit there. No one should put you down, and you should not put anybody down.
Yes.
It works both ways, okay? Let's have healthy relationships. Let's take care of each other. If you have a background of trauma and pain, your mother was being clobbered, you have your own traumatic history, walk to a counselor and say, me imagine I want to be a good husband, but I'm struggling.
Yeah.
I'm struggling. I have violent thoughts towards my wife. I have violent thoughts towards my husband. I have this kind of, I need help. I'm not fine. If you have to drown it in alcohol, something is wrong. If you have to drown it in addiction, something is wrong. Okay? Please, you're important. Wherever you're listening to me from, you are important. You're an economy builder. We need you. Please stop jumping from buildings. Please stop drowning. Stop ramming your cars into walls. Men, I hope you're hearing me. Please, as women, we need you. The days of pretending we don't need men are over. We need you. We need you healthy. We need you whole. So get someone to talk to because you are important.
You
How
mentioned
much? A moment. How
yeah.
much would a session cost? A counseling session.
On the phone?
No, on the phone, of course. I know the charges are on me.
Yeah.
I'm talking about if I came to see you.
To see me?
Or
Am I
wherever-
allowed to do that on radio?
Yes.
They can call
Just
and
call
ask.
and
Call.
find out. It's easier to
Oh.
call the number and you'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah. And don't be shaken by the price. Kuna counselors from counseling ni kama kununua kitu. Kuna bei ya kila mtu. There's something called a sliding scale. So
Yes.
don't shrink back. Just say, me, I have this amount. And we normally refer guys.
Yes.
Okay? If it's not us, I can send you someone who's near you.
Yes.
There are counselors all around this country. Imagine you can get help and live a good life. You're only here for so short. You know?
Yes.
Our time here is so short. Live
Yes.
a good life. You deserve it.
Let's pick up a call from Francisca.
Francesca.
Hello.
Mambo.
Hello.
How are you people?
Fine, thank you. How are you, darling?
Fine, thank you. I really laughed at the issue of licking the mosquitoes about with Eric. But the thing is, sometimes it is very hard. I don't know, for us, the older group, it is very hard to walk away. You just have to persevere because you have these grown-ups. And sometimes I even see some a neighbor or something like that who can be beaten and she can run out of the house with only kamisi to borrow clothes on the way. But still they come back. Sometimes it is very hard. What can you do when you have a teenage children and you have that problem? What will you do?
Very good question. And remember I said earlier
Yeah.
that I have learned realistically it's not so easy for some women to live. That doesn't mean you cannot draw boundaries. Imagine even if I live with you, there are things I can do to tell you. Like, if you know your husband is cheating, surely, why are you sleeping with him without protection? So you're just looking for HIV and AIDS.
Or an STD.
Or an STD. Sindio? So strap in. Hata kama kuna mpaka female condoms. Your partner is not in charge of your brain. Please use your brain. I know over time they brainwash you until you think you don't have options. That is the number one lie of abuse. You have options. Number one option is to live. Number two option is to do something while you're in there. Scream, shout for help. Get someone to help you put some boundaries. But it is not right. It is not right to be clobbered, beaten, mistreated, talked down on. Even if you're not being beaten, words are so powerful. Yeah? It's not right. Don't allow it. Don't think it's normal. It's not right. Please, if you're going through it, do not allow it. Shout for help. And I cannot give you one solution for everybody because different homes have different things. But if you talk to someone, they'll show you what you have that you can use to your advantage. Sawa. Yeah.
Kendi, man, the decks are just lit, man. All the people are calling, all from all over the country. I'm sure you can see.
Yeah.
But time, man, we don't have time. So thank you so much for making the time to come and share these gems with us. For myself, speaking for myself, I've learned quite a bit.
Karibu
I've
sana.
learned quite a bit as the first consumer, and I'm sure Barbara and Eric have too. Eric,
Yeah,
you wanna-
Peaches has learned something. Also.
Eric, you want to thank the guests for coming?
Yes, very much so. You know, Kendi, while finalizing, I'm reminded of the words of Nipsey Hussle. You remember the American rapper who was gunned down?
Yes.
Nipsey used to say that you don't possess people, you just experience them. And I'm glad that you said that we need to have better experiences because we're here for a very short time.
Yes.
And thank you so much for all you do. The first time I came in contact with your work was maybe a couple of years, I can't remember when, but I heard you on radio and you're giving those numbers as you've just done now. And I believe just like I was listening, somebody would listen and find the help they so desperately need. So thank you. Keep on keeping on, and I'm sure I'm going to meet you at the very top.
Asante
Yeah,
sana.
man,
Thank you
and,
guys. You guys are fun.
Thank you.
If
So
you're
are you.
listening, these guys are the real deal. What you're hearing is legit. They're easy. They're very friendly, very warm to me. Thank you.
Asante.
And
Asante.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Mumbi nani alikula yo lasagna yako.
Imagine.
Mumbi Dhokaria, you have to produce lasagna.
I don't know if she was unmatching it behind
Even
the
guest
Mombi
today.
was so. Mombi has called me. You have no idea how much Mombi has tracked. I'm a hard woman to find. Mombi called my office. I'd be told she's called you 10 times. So Mombi, I'm sorry I'm hard to find, but I'm glad to be here.
She's
Mumbi
very
working hard.
Working.
Yeah, she did.
Chekile ure Deuta hoto da kana wakire
Kira.
Keudo kana shabesha
Nemo
shigana
goda.
Proti maguta Deutegeneke urade
Kanyama.
Do Oka okire haha
Nie.
Besha
Where
shigana
does it get this thing?
Oshioire Mumbi, we love you.
Tomorrow morning, people, the Situation Room is going to be here at exactly 6 a.m. So you better make a date with CT Muga, Eric Latif, and Ndu Oko. And then at 3 o'clock, we have the Spice Drive with the honey voice, Monique, who's going to be here. And she's her Mumbi is called Jules, by the way. Mumbi wa Monique ni Jules.
All right.
Yeah, Bana. And then at 7 p.m., we're going to be here back. Same time, same place, same show, same people. Eric, Barbara, and myself, Emmanuel. Thank you so much for coming. I'm sure you'll be back. Music all night long, so you don't have to touch that dial. On behalf of Mumbi, our super duper producer, we just want to wish you a very good night. And Brian Amlioto, who makes us look so good on online, we just want to wish you a very good night. See you tomorrow. God bless you. Thank you
night,
so
my
much.
darling.
It's 10 o'clock.